The Holy Root Awareness Sutra, lower part. With reverence to the Holy Root Awareness Sutra. With determination to seek refuge in the Holy Sutra. With determination to seek refuge in the Holy Sutra. With determination to seek refuge in the Holy Sutra. The lower part of the Holy Root Awareness Sutra. The Jade Emperor's Sutra that expounds the heaven's way. To be charitable, kind and righteous. To study and embrace the teachings. To recite the sutra once daily. And one's luck will be illuminated. The Jade Emperor is kind and righteous. Reciting the sutra often will bring about the 5 blessings. Be ready to self-sacrifice for a virtuous cause. Be ready to stand up for justice. The sagely words of Confucius and Mencius are wise counsel for all. Everyone of different age and gender should attentively study the Holy Sutra. Should diligently learn from the sages. Prosperity will then come one's way. Children are born of their parents and mature into responsible adults. Children must be filial to parents. For being filial is paying respect to the heaven. To show the greatest gratitude to one's parents. To give the highest honors to one's parents. But if one reviles one's parents, one goes against the heaven's way. Being devoted and filial to one's parents are in accordance with the heaven's way. Filial piety is an age-old practice. Being filial moves the heaven. A family should live together harmoniously. Parents are kind and children are filial. Siblings are magnanimous, tolerant and amenable. A harmonious family is the basis for one's prosperity. One has to meditate and reflect on past misdeeds. One has to avoid gossiping, as gossiping excessively will be scorned by the heaven. Excessive speech brings harm and misfortune. Never to hurt others with speech. If one does not cultivate one's mind and character, one is doomed to suffer. If one sows discord, if one slanders, bringing pain and hatred to others, malevolent stars will then descend to bear disasters. To speak loudly is ill manners. To refrain from vicious speeches and swearing or cursing languages, else one will suffer. As a fiery temper invites troubles, all types of calamities will befall, and many enemies will be made. One must endure and stay tolerant in arguments and disputes. For victory or defeat is inconsequential, and suppressing one's anger preserves good fortune. The heaven is all-knowing. A good-natured person is admired by everyone. Magnanimity and amicability foster success. To be forgiving is virtuous. So is suppressing one's anger. The Holy Root Awareness Sutra that expounds the heaven's way encourages people to do good, to be benevolent, righteous and moral. The food staples for human survival are rice, wheat, beans, potatoes and millets. Food is important to humans. Do not waste food, as food is hard to come by. Life depends on food. Without food, one cannot survive. Although crops grow from the soil, farming takes arduous effort. And likewise for animal rearing. Refrain from excessive killings. Only when reasonable or needed for food and medicine. Then sacrifice shall be permissible. To squander, waste and mindlessly kill, a sin will be recorded in the heaven. As all things are creations of the universe, wasteful action leads to declining fortune. Good and evil are formless. Formless with no visible traces. Formless with no distinct sense. The void and spiritual energy have existed before time. The Jade Emperor's grace and love are boundless. In his wise counsel for the people. In his selfless love for the people. The Jade Emperor's love is universal and does not discriminate. For anyone living in this world, one has to be responsible and abide by societal rules. If one does not live by honest labor, mishaps can lie ahead. Whoring and gambling defile one's life. One's wealth is predestined by the heaven. But maintaining family harmony is paramount. And working hard is worth its price in gold. Gambling addiction brings disaster and ruins to one's family fortune. To swiftly repent and amend. Family will reunite and rejoice. Although to err is human, one must reform and make amends. And redeem for past transgressions. One must teach one's descendants the heaven's precepts. On morality and ethics expounded in the Holy Sutra. To be kind-hearted and selfless. To look out for others. Will earn good fortune and blessings for oneself. To act kindly and selflessly. To be dutiful and filial. Are in accordance with the laws of heaven. Being unkind and self-centered create obstacles for oneself. If one is unkind and selfish to others, harm will come one's way. And misfortunes abound. To refrain from wrongdoings and evil deeds. To treat others fairly and justly. To not place self-interests above others. To not seek personal gains. To not be proud and arrogant. Good fortune is not about possessing great wealth. Great wealth may not be a blessing. Good fortune lies in having virtuous descendants. Virtuous descendants are a blessing. Prosperous and wealthy families do not boast about their lavishness. Arrogance diminishes one's blessings. Benevolence boosts one's blessings. Extravagance is transient like flowers. May as well give more to charity. For kindness will be repaid. And the heaven shall reward with splendid blessings. To not be disheartened. Else success is difficult to attain. To be diligent, thrifty and conscientious. And wealth and fortune will come in time. One can choose to either wither away like rotting reeds. Or to cultivate oneself to build one's fortune. To live an impeccable and unerring life. One has to cultivate one's mind and virtues. To engage in kind deeds often. To swiftly eradicate evil deeds. To treat others with kindness always. And heaven shall bless one with benefactors and patrons. To be freed of guilt and evil doings. And the gods and spirits shall acknowledge and help. To be upright in deeds and thoughts. And the gods, immortals, Buddhas and sages shall bless. To repair bridges and build roads. To donate medicine to the poor and needy. To be philanthropic always. And the heavenly ruler will be moved. To be kind and one can enjoy peace and happiness. To be evil and one is met with disapproval from the heaven. If one has transgressed, then reform and resolve to make amends. If one has shameful or evil thoughts, then change is necessary. If one does not reform swiftly, one will be haunted by malicious spirits. If one acts without conscience, or be greedy, then one will be gripped by worries. One will be harmed if one is sly. One will be freed from suffering if one reforms swiftly. Humans are a creation of the universe. Humans have the capacity to do good and evil. Good deeds bring blessings. Villainous deeds are sinful. As one leaves one's life, one should guard against squandering time. Lead a life of benevolence, and be blessed with filial descendants. Villains are vicious. Villains must reform and make amends. As one's path ahead is long, must guard against regressing oneself. Guard against poisonous and evil thoughts. Correct oneself when one errs. If one hideously plots and schemes, one will be admonished by the heaven. Being muddle-headed brings suffering. Accomplishing tasks becomes difficult, and family ties may break. Life is difficult if one is defiant or confrontational. The timeless laws of the heaven and earth will inexorably bring about one's punishments. Swiftly reform and make amends. Stay anonymous when doing good deeds. The heaven is all-knowing. Reap what is sown. Kindness will be rewarded and wickedness punished. Heed these teachings at all times. The Holy Sutra reveals the laws of heaven. These teachings must be preserved, such as publishing or engraving the sutra, to help transmit the teachings through the ages, to disseminate the imperial Holy Sutra far and wide, to instruct humanity on morals and ethics, leading to the path of salvation. It is meritorious to work hard at doing good. For a family devoted to charitable deeds shall be granted good fortune by the heaven. The Jade Emperor shall boost one's blessings and longevity, and generations of the family will prosper. When one publishes 100 copies of the sutra, one will get help from noble and helpful people. When several hundreds of the sutra are published, one will rid of ill-boding people and persistent illnesses. When one publishes 1,000 copies of the sutra, generations will be bestowed with splendor and prestige. When communities gather to publish the Imperial Holy Sutra, fortune will find its way to their households. To publish or transcribe the sutra is a meritorious act. The Jade Emperor is benevolent and righteous. He gives blessings for disseminating the Holy Sutra, to be helpful and kind to others, and fortune and longevity will come one's way. To disseminate the Holy Sutra increases one's blessings, and malignant forces cannot assail oneself. When the sutra is recited 1,000 times, one's pursuits will become auspicious. With a lifetime of reciting the Imperial Holy Sutra, one's soul may ascend to the heaven. The Jade Emperor's Mind Seal Classic, abridged into the Holy Root Awareness Sutra. All can recite. The heaven shall boost everyone's fortune and longevity. The Jade Emperor, the great heavenly ruler, the great mysterious vault supreme emperor of heaven. The Jade Emperor, the great heavenly ruler, the great mysterious vault supreme emperor of heaven. The Jade Emperor, the great heavenly ruler, the great mysterious vault supreme emperor of heaven. After reciting the sutra, clasp your hands and bow 3 times. Recital for all 3 parts of the Holy Root Awareness Sutra, the upper, middle and lower parts, is now complete.